Hello and welcome to the Business Brain Clinic. My name's Helen Knight, and today we're going to be talking to another designer about the business, what's working, what's not at the moment, and how that we can help them move forwards. So I'm really excited about today. This is number 2, so I have done one before.
Cool.
This is number 2 in the series to help designers move forward in the business. Have a chat about what's working, what's not working, and give you a few steps to help you move forwards. So
Super.
Yeah. So is it okay to ask you to just tell us a little bit about yourself, about what kind of design you do to start off, maybe? Also,
Where would you like me? How far back would you like me to start?
just like a brief overview of what you've been up to, and yeah, where you're at right now, and what you feel you've been trying, and maybe sort of areas that you feel that you might need a bit of help with.
Sure. Okay, let me just frame this all in a context here of this pandemic really did a number for my business and kind of took out the client base that I had. And I was doing okay. I was on a growth trajectory. I started my business in 2017. Primarily, I started out going, anything, give me anything to design, anything possible, I will handle it. And over the course of that, the couple of years after that, I started focusing a lot more on, all right, positioning and really trying to up the premium quality of the work that I was producing, is also the clients, like helping them increase their positioning from whatever they were doing to just a more expensive looking brand so they can charge more and they can make more money themselves. So a lot of the design strategy and brand strategy kind of stuff wrapped into that of who do you actually want to be, who do you want to grow into. And I really enjoyed that part of it. And I enjoyed less and less as time went on, working with websites and a lot of the technical stuff. I just started going, okay, well, I'll hire out for that. I'll contract out for that. And I have friends through the industry through the years. I've grown a great network, and I would work with them or just kind of hand off and say, okay, well, I appreciate working with my client, and thank you so much for working with me. Now I'm going to patch you up to my friend, and I'm still in the loop. I'm still kind of overseeing things, but they're going to handle your day-to-day and move stuff off, and that worked.
Great.
That worked okay for a while, and then the pandemic hit, and my clients were like, "Oh, we're not doing anything. We're backing way off of everything," and everything dried up for me, and I really refocused at that point and said, "Okay, brand identity, logo design, like the whole idea of the strategy and where you want to go, the big picture kind of stuff, I'm just going to stay there because I really enjoyed that part. Like I get really passionate about that, really energetic about that. Like, yes, I really have a brain that can see where you can take this logo, this mark, this idea, this feeling, this everything. Like, I get psyched about that kind of stuff. And so I really kind of refocused on that. But I've had one client since this pandemic started.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't enough to keep anything going. I actually, what you're seeing in my background is my wife's sewing room and our storage room in our tiny little apartment, our 2-bedroom apartment, because we sold our house just after the start of the pandemic.
Wow.
And I closed out of my office, and just we scaled way back. I kind of looked in the future at that time and said, I think we really need to play it really conservative, really safe, just in case. We're super glad we did, really grateful for that, because that's the reason that I can sit here today and even have this conversation instead of, frankly, me working at Starbucks or McDonald's right now.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the way things went.
Yeah, gosh, it's been a tough year, hasn't it, for everybody?
It has, and I like to look at the good side of things. I like to look for the opportunities in the hidden packages. So I actually took a chance in a whole different direction in April or May, and I said, okay, well, what's something I've always been interested in that I can maybe work into this whole business that I'm doing, and it'll just be part of who I am and part of who I offer. And I actually did a lot of research into Marissa Peer's hypnosis program and helping people reframe their mindset for growth, for confidence. And I felt powerfully attracted to that. And the whole idea of, there's so many of us coming through this event, coming through this experience where we have the skills, we have the knowledge, we have everything we need, but there's just a little piece inside that's going, I'm not enough.
Yeah.
I need more. I can't. It's not available. And that really spoke to me. So I'm on the precipice of finishing up that entire program. I'm already practicing with a couple of people, and helping bring some confidence to them. Mm-hmm. And the people I'm working with, I feel like is right in line with the same kind of logo people. Like, okay, you want to start a business. I think now is a great time. I think now is a perfect time to start a new brand, to start a new business, to get out there. Because if you can survive right now, if you can start an idea right now, then when stuff starts going good, you're leaps and aheads, like way far ahead of everyone else. And if we can anchor like some of the mindset into it too, I just think there's an explosion of opportunity there. So that's kind of where I am right now.
Okay, wow, that's exciting. Yeah. Okay, cool. So at the moment then, so what kind of things are you doing are you doing anything on the design side, like to get to work on getting more leads or anything like that at the moment, or are you just leaving it alone for now, or how do you feel about it?
I've mostly left it alone for now, just to see what the temperature was, to see if people, I don't know, remembered me, recognized me, would come back to me when their fortune started to shift. So right now I've been doing my own sort of mindset work and setting a foundation in my social media of, on Instagram, it's very much about the strategy side of things. On my Facebook page, it's very much about the mindset and training the mind and training the brain. And I've just started to kind of reach out again to people and say, if you're a designer, if you're a creative, if you want to feel good about what you're doing, because I understand that field and I want to help them with some of the hypnosis stuff. But I've not yet reached out to anybody beyond that. I've worked in the software field, in the pharma field, and advertising in the past, but I'm not actually sure how to reach out to them at the moment to even offer strategy, identity, like anything. I'm kind of lost myself in what my next step should be.
Okay, so you've identified a niche that you want to help, but you're just not quite sure how to approach them.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you? I know you've been on one of my workshops before.
Yeah, loved it.
So we've talked about the who. So I created a sheet to help you really narrow it down to make sure that you're being really, really specific, to give you a lot more clarity. And then we look at, where those people hang out. We get to know them enough so that we know everything about them, and we know where they hang out. Have you pinpointed those places of exactly where they are? Do you know where they are?
I haven't, because I'm just not sure where. How do I say this? I have knowledge and experience in a couple of different fields, and I don't hang out where those people are online. And when I go to those places that I think they are, and I try to engage with that, it is based on my experience in my working life. Gosh, I'm just not interested in those people at all. So, and that's the thing is I've had a couple of people tell me, well, you should go after this or this, and I say, yeah, except right now I look at those people and I'm not like, I look at what's going on in their messages in their groups, and it not only doesn't interest me, it actually sort of repulses me.
Okay. So tell me more about this type of person, just so that I can help you a bit more.
Yeah, that would be like healthcare providers or alternative healthcare providers, complementary healthcare providers, integrated medicine providers. This is a field. My wife is a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine here in Washington State.
Okay.
And we have lots of friends and associates that are in that same field, or naturopaths, chiropractors, and I actually went and spoke with several of them to say, you know, what are you guys looking for? What are you interested in? Here's kind of what I provide. And the answer I got was, look, we're not going to do marketing. We're not going to do branding. We just don't even care, because it doesn't matter. You're either covered by insurance, in which case we get paid, or you're not covered by insurance, in which case we get paid in cash, and we just don't care. Our brand doesn't mean anything to us. And I said, okay, well, let me speak to the clinic owners who, you know, have between 3 and 5 of these people working underneath them. And the clinic owners are like, look, we're fine. We don't need any help. We're okay. We want more clients, but, you know, we're not going to talk to a branding designer about that. We're going to talk to a marketing agency or an advertising agency. We're going to buy Facebook ads. So I felt through those actual face-to-face conversations kind of niched out of my own niche that I was trying to talk with.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's why I said I kind of felt frustrated.
Yeah. Okay. So if these people obviously have clearly got a problem still, so they're still struggling to get clients, but they just don't understand how, they don't know how to do it, or do they think they know how at the moment?
They think they know how. Okay. And based on I'm trying not to target like 2 or 3 people. I'm trying to stay away from, trying to keep it a little bit more generic than that. They feel it's not an issue. They're doing okay. Even during pandemic, they're doing okay. They continue to get by, and that, and the most that I can think to offer them is like a marketing plan. Sit down with them and work through a marketing plan. Right. But at that point, they're going to hire a specialist in their field who is a marketing person from online, and do a lot of that kind of work.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what my wife ended up doing.
So I can see the problem there, and a lot of designers and creative people tend to just market their services without really helping the person that's got the problem see that they have got the solution. So there's several ways that you can do that. So it's basically how you actually position yourself online. So you don't have to call yourself a designer, or, you know, you've got to think about what to call yourself that would actually relate to their problem. So you need like a unique selling point. So think about your skills, and obviously they are creative related, but they don't have to know about all that stuff. The main thing that your ideal client wants is just to know that you can solve their problem. So you have to relate to them as an expert in that first problem that they can see. So even though there are lots of other problems behind that problem, they're not thinking about that at the moment. They're only thinking about that first problem. So you've got to market to that first problem, and that's how you can actually relate to them, so they don't like cut you out of the market, cut you out of any kind of sort of ideas around the possibility that you could be a solution for them. You know, lots of people aren't really marketing at the right awareness level. So it's really important to understand where your clients are at. Do they realize they've actually got a problem? Do they realize that there is a solution to their problem? Do they realize, you know, maybe they've bought lots of other things and tried lots of other things and they've all failed? So it's good to know what they've tried before, know what they've, what kind of things that they thought were the solution and it actually wasn't the solution. And help them, educate them. You know, you've got to give them value, help them to understand that what they're looking at isn't the right answer, and help them understand why it's not the right answer. And that's why it's so key to put content out on your social media to help people understand what is the right solution for them. And it's not necessarily about just talking about your services or talking about how amazing you are or anything like that. It's really about helping them understand the journey, the journey that they need to go on. I can definitely see where the problem is with these types of people. So let's have a think. That they obviously think that it's like Facebook has. I've met people like this before, actually, thinking about it, where they just think.
I meet a lot of them where maybe they've read Donald Miller's Story Brand, and they're like, okay, Donald Miller says I don't need a brand, I just need marketing until I make like $5 million, and then I can invest in my brand.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of these people think is, okay, nope, it's until they hit like a $5 million mark, which a lot of them think they'll never make a $5 million in their lives. So
yeah, if you know that, obviously you have to do a lot of research and make sure that you are on the right path, that if this is something you've heard from one person, is it a generic thing? Is it something that all the people in that niche, do they think in the same way? Have you asked other people? How much research have you done into this?
So I live up in Washington near a naturopathic school called Bastyr University.
Okay.
Where they train naturopaths and acupuncturists and Ayurvedic medicine practitioners. I mean, it's a whole broad curriculum. It's very thorough and all that. And they pump out some of the world's top integrative medicine practitioners, and they're fantastic. This is something that's actually kind of put into their student body's mindset.
Oh, I see.
And this is what I've discovered.
Okay.
Because most of my community through my wife is a lot of these people, and up in this area, this is like most of these people come from this school. What I've discovered is the school tells them you're not going to make any money. Most of you are going to fail. Insurance in the United States is a racket and is going to keep you from becoming a meaningful, productive member of society. But you can't survive on cash. It's a very conflicting mindset that's sort of taught into them.
Right. Oh gosh.
Right, and I can't speak for other parts of the world. I can't speak for other parts of the United States. And I've tried reaching out for business up and down the west coast of the United States, because that's where my home is, like up and down the coast here.
Yeah.
And it seems to be fairly prevalent until somebody finds a mentor that is able to flip their mindset. And again, that's sort of, what drew me into the hypnosis stuff is, okay, I can see that when I'm working with people, there are definite mindset blocks that need to kind of get flipped. You can make as much money as you want, and you deserve to make as much money as you want. You're awesome. Just go for it.
Yeah. That's
right?
It. I totally agree. And isn't it bizarre though that people have like all these limiting beliefs and they just accept things, don't they? That I think, just again talking about awareness, I think people just are conditioned, aren't they? And then they just accept things and they don't think about what other possibilities there are until maybe they come across somebody that does help them see things in a new in a new way, give them a new perspective on something. Since some of this, the idea of like packaging some of this, like mind and business together, that's a whole new thing for me. That's where I haven't figured it out, and that's really where I feel drawn that this could be a really powerful thing for people. But then it becomes a little more difficult to me to help them see, okay, are you struggling with confidence? Are you struggling with clarity? Because it starts to be the inner feeling that is keeping them from moving forward in the business, from keeping them from seeing where they can be and building that. For me, it's all about building a brand. I'm much like, I worked in marketing for 15 years, and I'm like, I understand marketing. I'm not a marketing guy. I am a branding guy by all means, which means I'm not going after the first sale. I'm not going after for that sort of thing. For me, it's all about, look, let's build that relationship. Let's build a long-term
goal. Let's work towards something that's 3 years out that we can see, okay, here's the future. It's a shining beacon on the hill. Let's work towards that. Let's draw the people in that really feel great about that and want to go there with you, like working for you and as a client.
The way that you're thinking is motivating them to believe in themselves again, so that they can start to build a business that they really want in like 2 or 3 years time. And I think that's a great idea. I also want you to realize that if the first thing they're thinking about is that they need more clients, and they try all these other things, like they try the ads and things like that, and they don't work, maybe you're the person to pick them back up again and go, okay, you've tried this. Now,
well, I sort of taken a Simon Sinek sort of approach to this of, hey, if you're going to redo a logo, if you've tried all these other things, when you start to get to this point of really trying to figure out your messaging and your mission in life and what you're bringing, when you start to get to that point, think of me. I'll be here. Think of me, come back to me, and I would love to help you. Yeah,
definitely. And I think, I think most people, as long as you can help them see that you can solve their first problem and give them a new perspective on it, so they can start to see sort of light at the end of the tunnel, and then gradually you educate them into the other things that they're obviously going to need in the future. But it's it's matching your skill with the first problem. And then obviously creating a unique selling point around that.
And I think that's where I have a challenge, because to me that first selling point is get more customers, get more sales. And I don't know, I don't feel like that's my strong suit. So like I don't focus on that, and I suppose I'm hearing you say that I really need to make that first impact, to make that first connection. And that's a challenge for me for some reason. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. And I totally get that, because I've been in that boat myself in the past. I think sometimes sometimes there are things that we have to work on ourselves to be able to help other people as well. So maybe that is just one of those lessons that's there for a reason. It's like a sign,
right?
Like, you need to really pay attention to this. And sometimes, those things pop up. It's like, I don't know if you've ever heard of like a mirror kind of scenario, where the things reflected back to you are the things you really need to focus on. So if things keep popping up and showing up in your life, that kind of make you feel a bit uncomfortable and like, oh gosh, I'm really not sure if I can do that, but I need to get over that so that I can actually move forwards. Sometimes, those things pop up for a reason. I think if you become more confident in having a bit more knowledge around that, like the marketing side maybe, and then you can perhaps move forward a little bit more to link it to what you're trying to actually help people with your branding. So I think it all has its place, and I think maybe that's just a little bit of a reflection on something that you need to work on or get some help on first, so that you can actually go ahead and help other people.
Thank you.
That's okay. So you were saying about
I'm making notes.
Oh, that's fine. So you were saying about not sure how to approach them, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. So if I gave you some tips on kind of what to say and how to approach people, would that help you? Would you feel a little bit better about doing that? Is it just you're not sure what to say, or what is it that you're worried about?
Yeah, I'm just not sure what to say at this point, because especially when I was running out of my own office. I don't like being in a sewing room, but when I was in my own office, I made a bunch of cold sales calls every single day. I made between 15 and 20 every single day I was in the office, and mostly leaving messages for people who are getting hung up on. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know what to say then, and I'm not sure I've figured it out yet. And trial and error, but it basically came down to, hey, do you want to grow your business? And for a lot of people, I don't know if I get that sort of phone call, I think, okay, nope, I sure don't, because you're just calling me on the phone, and so I hang right up.
Too direct. It sounds a bit too direct. If people aren't very aware of the problem that they've got, they're going to be they're kind of what's the word? I can't think. They're going to be very sensitive to that kind of thing. So if they're not aware that they've actually got a real problem that you can help them with, then if you're too direct with them, it's going to put the shutters up. They're going to be like, oh gosh, no. Now,
and I'm very direct.
Now the best way to get around that is several ways, through your content, by telling stories and things like that, where it's like a really soft approach, and also when you're actually approaching them, you want to get to know them in a friendly way. So you want to look at what they're doing online, you want to comment and just be friendly and really be interested in what they're doing. What platform did you say, sorry, that you're on the most? What platform are they on?
Instagram, Facebook primarily.
Instagram and Facebook. Okay, so I want you to have a look at their profiles, and I want you to just make friendly comments as if you were just as if you were at somebody's barbecue. You don't really know them, but you're just being friendly and just making kind of like small talk. So it's that kind of approach, not direct or anything, just really friendly, really interested. Oh, that looks interesting. Or if they've got some kind of post about what they're doing, maybe you could just say, oh, that looks really interesting, love to hear a bit more about that. Or just show that you are interested in what they're doing, and if there's anything on there that gives anything away, where you can actually compliment them on what they're doing, because that's going to really that's going to soften the approach. It's going to make it a lot more easy to actually start a conversation. If they think, oh gosh, somebody's actually interested in what I'm doing, that's great. Most people don't spend enough time showing that they really care about what other people are doing. So if you come across as very open, very friendly, very approachable, and you're actually interested in what they're doing, they're going to open their arms and go, yes, I want to talk to you. Because it's just a natural human response. If somebody shows interest in you, then you want to talk to them, unless they're very, very very introverted, or they've had a bad experience before. Sometimes they can be a little bit harder to talk to, but you don't have to push a conversation on anybody. It's just a very gentle approach to see if they're actually open to talking to you. And even when you first start talking to them online, you can just even just mention something that you've already commented on their page. It's just a friendly observation about something on their page, and then you ask them a question about what they're doing. So that's how I generally approach people. So you make it a really, really soft approach, and then ask a question that helps you identify if they are actually the right kind of person. So you can maybe clarify the type of business that it is, or clarify the type of work that it is, and maybe it's not 100% clear on their page. So you want to clarify something about their business or about them that helps you identify, actually, are they the right kind of person that I want to talk to? I want you to be really interested in them. And if you're not, they're obviously not the right types of people that you want to work with. Have a look at some profiles and think to yourself, obviously you're not just going to do that on anybody's page. It's got to be somebody that you really feel you can help, because if you don't feel you can help them, there's no point approaching them. And you are only approaching them because you feel that you can really help them and move their business forward. You don't obviously have to sell to them or anything like that straight away. It's just, you're just getting to know them and finding out if they are a good fit for what you're doing. And it is about
we're just chatting up and having some coffee. We're not getting married. It's just, hey, we're dating here. We're having fun.
That's it. It's like a first date. You don't ask people out on the first date, or you don't ask them certain questions on the first date. You're very
Right. You
subtle.
save that.
Yeah. So you've got to be really tread carefully and be like we said, be genuine and tread carefully. You know, if you really care about somebody, you want to know what they really want in life, and you want to know what, you know, how you can really help them achieve that. So if you can have a bit of a insight into their vision of the future and what they really want to create, then that really helps. And you know, everybody that I talk to is loves talking about the vision. You know, I know I've got the right people because they love talking about what they're trying to achieve, because they're self-motivated and they're excited about the future, and they're the types of people that I attract.
That's the kind of people I love. I love working with those people because you know that their imagination and their creativity are really activating like some powerful stuff in their lives, and I know that doing this kind of work with those people is super effective because it does like compound and move forward so fast for them.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's just like a general chat rather than pinpointing someone and like holding them down and going, I'm going to ask you tons of questions. I try not to fire too many things at them, because that can be a bit intimidating for somebody. So yeah, just imagine what it's like for them and try and be in their shoes as well. So try and like see it from their side, and just be kind to people. Just try and help them.
I think trying to see it from their side is actually what kind of made me take a step back and go, okay, I'm gonna stop pushing so much and just kind of let things settle out, because I am very forward. I am very I don't think I'm pushy. How's that? I don't think I'm pushy, but I am very direct, and that's just kind of my personality. It really helped me in the corporate world, but now that I'm doing my own thing,
yeah, I understand. Yeah, and when I first started talking to people online, I used to ask way too many questions. I used to fire so many things at people, and I think it used to overwhelm people. And you know, you can get people just ignoring your messages if you fire too many things at them. You know, just take your time, slow down. I'm like, oh, I better slow down. You slow down, one question at a time. Let them respond. You know, it doesn't have to be all in one go. It can be over a few weeks. You know, it really doesn't matter how long it takes. Take it at their pace, not your pace. Yeah, it's really about being a bit more mindful about them and about you know, what type of people they are. You know, learning about them as much as you can, what kind of characteristics they have, can all really help. You know, it can help you a lot in your kind of process of onboarding people, of talking to people and getting a pipeline of leads. So I hope that's helped you today. Has that kind of answered your questions?
Yeah, absolutely. That gave me definitely some more direction. Thank you so much.